Big dilemma for witchy and pagan parents. Should you introduce your kids to paganism or should you let them choose their own path? I'm Sammy.
And I'm Joe.
This is After Dusk.
Yes. Hello. Hello everyone. Welcome again to yet another episode of After Dusk. Today we have a very interesting topic at hand, especially for those of you with families, with little children, because we're going to be discussing what, Sammy?
We're going to be discussing whether or not you should introduce your kids to paganism. Now, when we speak of this topic, it can be really sensitive, especially maybe considering the reactions of your relatives. And this is what I think most of the parents are concerned about. Will they be judged if they do introduce their kids to paganism or witchcraft practice that they are in? And one thing to come in mind, Joe, that I think you could shed some light on it is the comparison, the direct comparison with, for example, Christianity.
Or with any other large religion, guys. We're not attacking Christianity directly. We are attacking it, just not directly. Basically, is there a difference between baptizing your kids, bringing your kid to church every Sunday? Like, that's also in a way forcing something onto a child that you might be participating in, like religion-wise. But then why is it different, or at least why is it perceived differently in society if you do it as a pagan? So if you raise your child in pagan ways, why are you judged, or why are you like looked down upon? What do you think, Sammy?
Well, probably because they consider pagans to be evil. Recently, Joe came across this article. We thought it would be a useful article. Turned out that pagan kids in their view were just ungodly, evil kids.
It was a Christian article, an article by a Christian magazine or something, and we thought, like, we were doing research for this video, guys, and searching things on how to raise kids in a pagan way. And then there was this article, I don't remember the title precisely, but it was implying that the pagan kids are bad, pagan kids are ungodly, that they're deserving of all the worst. No. Let's just stick to the topic at hand. Let's not go philosophizing around because I think that this will then prolong for like 45 minutes and not many of them will have like patience to listen to all of that.
Well, you might, precisely this reason. He wanted to give me a nice introduction, but I do this all the time, guys.
Of course
Thank you for putting up with me.
Yes.
You might decide to take a subtle approach if you're living in a hostile environment to pagans in general, because of course you don't want your child to be a victim of bullying because of the beliefs of your household. With this said, it doesn't mean that you cannot nurture these aspects of connection to the nature, because this is what paganism is in its essence. It's not so it's not like you can hear people who are not so familiar about it saying, oh, they are going down to nature. No, it's not about that. It's about that the miracle of nature is all around us, and we are nature also, and it's between this like unity in humans and nature, and in that way respecting nature. It's just little subtle things that you can do. For example, if you introduce mythology stories to your child, or maybe just you do or outdoor activities that include planting seeds, and you talk to them about the importance of nature, even a bit about the elements. It's all subtle enough so they will not get just criticized for their ungodly beliefs. But you can also celebrate the wheel of the year with them, whether they know what it is or not.
Well, if they don't, they can teach them.
You can.
Course. Not always going to get bullied for what they know. It's just, in some places, in some locations, I think it'd be maybe, I don't know if I'd call it a mistake, but just to be very outright, very outspoken about your beliefs. This is like in the context of your children, right? If you turn it all into a sort of game, you can approach it that way. For example, you can go out for walks with your kid or kids, and they can find sticks. For example, in nature, they can make wands with those sticks, or you can teach them how to make their own set of runes.
Well, we will talk more about activities later on.
Well, you've actually mentioned quite a lot of them already, so I thought that we already began with it. It doesn't matter. just continue on with the program. No, it's okay.
No, I wanted to speak more about some I don't want to say holidays, but special days within the wheel of the year that you can actually use and introduce to your kids that are similar enough to more mainstream ones, so they won't find it weird. For example, Ostara, Beltane, we'll talk about it more.
It's
kind of
okay.
nice.
Like all celebration
Samhain and
days.
Yule.
I'm sorry, but all celebration days are celebration days. There's no difference, real difference between Ostara and Beltane or Imbolc or it's all like celebration days. You celebrate them obviously in different ways, but a celebration is a celebration. Come on, we celebrate Christmas, Christians do, Easter, like all those holidays, whatever we might call it. You like, what the fuck? I have to say it like that, and you can't celebrate. I'm gonna come down a bit now, guys. These topics, like, they do get me like quite a bit nerved up because of the discrepancy between like how Christianity or even Islam or big religions are viewed, and then paganism is like witchery and bad, and you're gonna go to hell for it. Come on, let's be serious for a moment.
Well, on that regard, for example, Ostara, and why do we color eggs? It is a pagan tradition, the coloring eggs. It's related to the myth, and this is a nice story that you can actually tell to your kids. It's about a German goddess, Ostara, who, well, I don't speak German. How do we pronounce it, Joe? It's correct. Basically, she was a bit late, and she's the bringer of the spring, and she found a frozen bird in the snow, and the bird was pregnant, so she was laying eggs. Can you say that the bird was pregnant?
Really, but I think they understood.
Never mind, guys, grab that. And she was feeling sorry because empty bird nest, the bird in the snow. She rebirthed it, reincarnated as a rabbit, but since it used to be a bird and no longer had wings, she granted that on this day, Ostara or Easter, Christianized you.
Who would have guessed?
Once a year, this rabbit lays colored eggs because it used to be a bird. It's amazing. It's so sweet. It makes me tear up.
We also have the symbology of the rabbit. We also have like all the symbolism that Christianity has taken over. That all comes from like pagan traditions, pagan.
But tell us, Joe, how can we celebrate Beltane with kids?
I don't even know why you said that it would be like, why you even mentioned it would be a bit different. Beltane is literally like a celebration of fertility. But obviously, when we humans like think about it, we obviously associate human fertility with it first. But there's fertility all around us in nature as well. We have animals giving birth to offsprings. We have the seasons of the year which perpetuate like the plants, and it's just about the cycle of life. So all living things, all living creatures like plants and animals, mushrooms, fungi, like whatever you want, but it's all related to fertility. So it's not only about sex. Obviously, it all depends on how old your kids are, but we can actually also celebrate nature in that way. We can teach them about so many things in regards to the life cycle of all these creatures that we live among. And I think that's beautiful, because what is paganism if not the celebration of nature itself?
I love it how you put it, Joe.
Thank you, my love.
Amazing. And I just love his mind so much. Also, your favorite one, if I'm not wrong, fingers crossed, Samhain.
My favorite one, yes, Samhain is.
Knew that. I
Yes,
knew that.
it is. Why do you think it's my favorite one?
Let's just say because of his personal practice, which you won't talk about just yet, but you will find out if you subscribe.
Okay, now people might get scared, guys. Yeah, you can actually also celebrate Samhain with your offsprings. Also, like other things like Yule and all these things. Like, why would you exclude your kids, especially if you're celebrating those yourself as a parent? Why would you exclude your kids from those traditions? Like, doesn't it make you a bit cynical? I don't know.
Yeah, like, how would you explain it?
I'm doing it, but you're not allowed to do it.
They would be like, why mommy? Why daddy?
Why is that? So yeah, basically, point number one, I think we can conclude with, you should actually celebrate all these days in the year with your kids all together as a family. And I think that's the perfect way to just not just spend time together, but also bring them into this world of paganism and everything that it conveys. Now, what's the next topic that we should go over? Now, sorry, you have the structure of the video.
I wanted to ask a question for him, but he's so used to leading these things. I love it.
Amazing, amazing.
For example, I wanted to talk about, just some simple activities that you can do with your kids that are a bit more direct than the previously mentioned ones, and to just explain your practice to them. Yes, I know you're excited. Go on, Joe, making ones.
I said that already, I'm going to say it again. Okay.
He loves his wands.
Yes! I don't have a wand.
Yet.
I don't have a wand yet. But kids will be actually pretty excited about that. And you can literally just take any stick that you find out there on a walk, wherever you live. And then you just decorate, put flowery patterns on it, I don't know, you can put crystals on it, you can put engravings on it with a knife or something, and you can literally make it look much, much better than it does in Harry Potter. And trust me, all kids love Harry Potter. It doesn't have to do much with paganism, but there are wands there. So yeah, obviously it's going to work, and they're going to be introduced to this world of magic through something that they find attractive, in the sense that they would like to play with it, they would find it interesting. And yeah, I think it's an amazing idea to make wands with your kids.
Coming to that, how do you actually prevent your kids from just playing around with your altar? Easy peasy, just let them make their own.
Love it. Okay, go on.
And kids are natural like this. If you have kids, you'll notice. You'll go out in a park or just taking a walk, and they will bring you a bunch of stones like it's pure gold. Here, Mom. Here, Dad. Look what I found. I found this. Look at this rock. They love rocks. So just let them collect them. You can make runes out of rocks, so they can eventually, when they're a little bit, older, they can use it for divination. And once you teach them that, but before that, they can just have their rocks and maybe some also seasonal, for example, autumn leaves on the display, because they also love leaves picking. Of course, we will not pluck it from the ground, but if it's something already on the ground, it's okay to take it. Yeah. And then,
amazing.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Basically, allow your kids to make their own altar. They'll be grateful. It'll be like a game to them, although it's not yet a game, but it takes time for them to realize that. But still, if it starts with a game, that's totally fine. They're kids, they're allowed to play, they're allowed to have fun. And also, with these kinds of things, I think it's important that you introduce such things to them in a way that they will find interesting. If you come and just start reading some pagan theory and just drowning them in all this more advanced stuff, maybe they will not find that really appealing. But if you start with playful stuff like making wands and making their own altars with stuff that they do find in nature, like stones and rocks, and everything that has connected to tree bark or little shells, sticks.
We love our sticks.
Yeah.
But we are not preaching to the kids. That's the main point. We're not preaching them. We're not forcing them into it. We're just allowing them to play.
It's very important that you don't force your kids into anything, but also if you like to be a part of it, and just start playfully and see where it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know this is for me, it's still hard in a way, but you're the master of meditation, Joe. For me, I'm better at guiding meditations than, guiding other people to meditate than actually doing it. So yeah, how would you introduce meditation to a toddler who can barely sit still for a minute?
But a minute is all what it takes at the beginning. Literally, if you can get your kids to maybe lie on the grass outside and just maybe look at a sky or look at a tree or just anything that's around them, basically, that's also part of a sort of meditation. And then as they grow, as they get older, obviously they will progress within this, and they will be able to hold their focus for much longer as time goes by. And so this is the way you do it. So just you don't even have to lie in the grass. You can just sit on a bench in a park or something and just observe everything that's around you, trees, sky, the birds, everything that you can see, and just focus on it and take your kids to focus on it. And they can also make it sort of a game, make it playful or something. You can tell them to try to, for example, look at that tree over there. What's can you maybe imagine or come up with a story regarding that tree? So they will find that interesting. They will find it because kids love. Like if there's one thing that kids love, it's using their imagination, especially for practical things where you something they can see it and thinking, something's around them. So if they can do that and then just use that to focus on something that's around them, that's a perfect start, for getting your kids into meditation and seeing as meditation is a quite common but also quite important practice within this whole realm of spirituality or magic and everything. I think it's a good way to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might use these tips as well. And this sounds like
Really?
an excellent tantrum prevention. Alert parents of toddlers everywhere. So, the next one actually brings us to our next chapter, which is pagan picture book recommendations. I have made a list.
Of course you have.
Like at one point, I wanted to make a library for our daughter, but then she said, "Oh, mommy, you want a library? I want a playroom." And that's fine. Like, don't force books onto them if they're not a booky type.
You can cry
You can cry
because you're gonna be sad
in your broom
Yeah.
closet. Speaking of which, you can check out that video as well. But, however, here is a list of Sammy's recommendation
Go on.
of books for, little pagans. So, Brina, a pagan picture book. This one is lovely. So, Brina's mom is a witch, and she slowly realizes this. And they start to talk openly about it. It's a lovely picture book. Tales of the Wind by Zdenko Vasic. This is more like for those of maybe Slavic European origin. It's a good way to connect with the local legends and mythology of this area. It's not, it's not easy to find elsewhere. Pagan Nursery Favorites by J.C. I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce this. Artemisia, yeah. Okay. So it includes a pagan bedtime blessing, which I think is a great way to deal with your kid being scared of the dark or being scared of the nightmares. It's a great way, guys. Another one, the Earth Child's Handbook, which covers arts and crafts, coloring pages, just some stuff that you can also do with your kids to spend some quality time together. And the final recommendation, I promise, is the Junior Witch's Handbook. Oh, Nikki van der Sar. Okay, So caution, maybe, just once they became a teenager, it might become a problem for you.
Why? No, you can't.
They're so angry. They're so angry all the time. So maybe you don't want them to hack their teacher. This was a joke, guys. This was a joke. You do. It's still a joke. It's fine. Okay, so I think that this kind of sums it up.
It really does. It really does. So I think we covered it all. We would really appreciate you guys if you have any questions. We have 2 daughters. We're not going to name them. We're not going to tell how old they are exactly, but they are very young. They're not toddlers anymore, but they are young. So we have some experience in this parenting style in the context of paganism and such things. So if you have any questions regarding this, feel free to ask. We'll be very glad to answer all your concerns or your comments or your questions. And it really does actually motivate us to go on further and record these videos for you, put more content onto this channel when we see that you guys are engaged, that you're really interested in the topic that we put out. So if you would like also us to discuss something else that we haven't actually done a video before on or that just tell us in the comments. So comment this video, of course, and please subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell icon so that you get notified whenever we put up some a new piece of content that comes out. We will actually very, very appreciate that.
Looking forward to the next video.
I think that is it for today. So thank you guys for watching once again.
Subscribe.
And we've already told them that. Yes, subscribe to this channel.
We will meet you again after dusk.
After dusk. I love it. Did you just come up with that?
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
His favorite copywriter.
It is, yeah. She's my favorite copywriter. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, see you soon, guys. And as always, leave some magic.
Some magic behind. Bye bye.
Bye bye.